So next up we have the general forum, and this is the discussion, who started it, how many replies there are, when the last post was. Basically, this forum should not be here anymore. It's in the process of being deleted from our beta testing. But the rest of this, the introductions, you can go ahead and post your introduction. I'm just going to go ahead and do this quick. So you can change how you view things. So you can display replies with flat, oldest first, okay? Uh, Flat, newest first. So you can see this was the original post, and these are the replies. So this is the post, this is the newest post, back down to the oldest post. And then of course this is in threaded form, so that you see the main post, and then if you want to look at the replies, you click on the replies. The next one is nested form, which shows all of the posts at the same time, which if you have a lot of replies can be difficult to look at. So if I want to read through a whole discussion where people have been responding, this is an excellent form. Otherwise, I personally like to keep them in threaded form so that I can see them, but I only have to click on the ones that I want to read. So if we look here at, this is my main post here, introductions, and I've said, please introduce yourself by replying to this post. So all of these posts here, somebody hit the reply link here, and then you can change the subject if you want. Otherwise, you can leave it the same. And then they replied here, and it's a pretty standard text editor. You can do links, you can do anchors, you can do smiley faces, you can embed HTML. I would really recommend keeping things fairly simple, but whatever you feel you need to do to make your post the best post you can make, that's fine. It's got a couple different texts, a couple different font sizes, and you can choose to make things headings or not. Really not that important for most posts. And bold, italic, underline, all of those are options I'm sure that people are familiar with, and they're all right here. You can change the colors of the text, of the background, indent, do bullets and numbers. All of those are things that are available in the text editor. It's a pretty basic text editor. It's going to post in HTML format, so if you want to post some HTML code, make sure that you toggle HTML source first, and then go ahead and type in your HTML here. And then you can go ahead and post it right like that, or if you want to see how it looks to make sure you got your HTML code right, just click the HTML toggle switch again, and it'll show you what it looks like in case you made a mistake with your HTML, especially because you have only a limited time to edit your replies to the forum. I believe it's 30 minutes. And then your posts are not deletable and they're not editable. Only the administrator, which is me, can remove them from that point. So if you want to attach something, you can also attach a document that's up to 1 megabyte, and I'm sure you're all familiar with how to do that. You just browse your computer, choose the file, and select post to forum. Okay, so all of those people who responded before, I'm just going to look at my response here. So you can see here they are. If you want to see what this was a response to, you can show parent, and that will show this again, where we just were. If you want to reply to somebody else's response, same thing, click reply, and then it should give you the same text box, and then once you hit post to forum, that will actually show indented beneath that person's response. So I'll just do it quick so that you can see. If we reply, post a forum, continue. So you can see it shows up nested right here underneath what I replied to. So then you have only a limited amount of time, 30 minutes, to change or delete your responses. So I'm going to delete this because it adds nothing to that discussion at all. Okay? So the forums that you should be able to see are introductions, general course questions, bugs and technical issues, suggestions, and corrections. Okay, so if you have anything that fits in those, that is the perfect place for you to go ahead and post whatever you need to. I would appreciate if everybody posts an introduction so that we can be familiar with who's in her courses with us, but the rest of them are optional for you to use. So I'm going to go back out of the forum here. And look next at the virtual library. Our virtual library is also hosted through Issue, and it's a fairly simplistic system. So what we have here is the title and the author being listed, and if you want to read it, you click Open Publication, and it's going to open in a new window open, which is you can see through Issue, and it's the same as the textbook viewer, but you should be able to view all of the information just like so. These are extra resources that you don't have to access, but which you can. And if you want to cite it in your paper, the citation for articles is already right on the front, easy for you to find. All you have to do is cite it properly according to which style you're using. So there are mostly articles, or there's sections from journals or magazines, but occasionally there'll be a book. So you can see here's a pictorial history of Turkish dancing by Metin and this is a fairly rare book. It's hard to find. Even for me locally, I had to specially order it from a college library nearby, and that was the only copy within, I believe, 500 miles of me. So most of the time, if books are readily available, I won't post them because I think you can go to the library or purchase your own copy. But hard to find books like this, which are a little more rare. I sometimes will post those. If there's a digital copy available, that's nice. But these ones I actually have to scan by hand, in which they become a digital copy. So you can read through the entire book here. And this particular book has pictures somewhere in the middle. Yeah, you can see all of the pictures. They're all in color. It's just like reading the book, except sometimes my images got a little bit crooked when I didn't line them up properly on the glass. If you want to view full screen, there you go. Now, the only difference really with the library resources as opposed to the textbook is that these are not available to download. They are only available for reading online, and that's because these works are all things that most of them you have to pay to read them, and I think that if you really want to have your own copy, you should try to find a copy that you can purchase yourself to support these scholars and authors, or you should find a copy at the library, whatever you can do. Otherwise, it gets into some murky things about whether or not it's being stolen. And I don't want to encourage people to just be grabbing all the free articles that they can, because I really think that these particular articles, they offer a lot to us as dance researchers, And because these are not very well paid positions, usually being a dance researcher, uh, we should try to support our fellow researchers when possible.